Okay, hopefully. We are good. 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 What are you watching now? Okay, who do I have so far? Okay, hopefully. We are good. What are you watching now? Okay, who do I have so far? Okay, hopefully. We are good. What are you watching now? Okay, who do I have so far? Okay, hopefully. We are good. I think I got myself in a loop. Okay, who do I have so far? Glad I didn't break it. Okay, hopefully. We are good. I think I got myself in a loop. Okay, who do I have so far? If everybody that is in the YouTube chat could be in the Discord chat, I think that might be easier. I may have to reset the YouTube video. I might have myself in a loop. Okay, who do I have so far? I might have broke it by being in the web page. If everybody that is in the YouTube chat could be in the Discord chat, I think that might be easier. I may have to reset the YouTube video. I might have myself in a loop. Okay, who do I have so far? I might have broke it by being in the web page. If everybody Let's see. Alright. Upside, I think the audio's not broken anymore. Downside, I think I have to watch it on a different screen than I'm recording it on. Fair enough. Alright. Upside, I think the audio's not broken anymore. Downside, I think I have to watch it on a different screen than I'm recording it on. Fair enough. Upside, I think the audio's not broken anymore. I might not even be able to watch myself. I might repeat it whenever I am. In that case, yeah, we'll have to do chat in the Discord. I'm going to give it a few minutes for anybody who might be late to sign on. And then I will go ahead and start. This one's not going to be a very long one. Hopefully you guys have either access to your digital books or your books, because I will be referencing it a bit more. I'm going to give it until 8:20 for whoever is going to attend. Later classes, I will, in the semester, I'll start back closer to on time, but I want to make sure that I give everybody the best chance to be here. Have you guys heard about the pass not pass option? Um, so the idea is that you now have the chance to change your grade from being based on a letter grade average to being based on pass not pass, which will just protect. Yes, it's Alfred for every class. It will just protect your GPA if you have a C or a D and you would otherwise pass, but with a lower grade. Actually, I don't know if it's true for D. D might not be considered pass on there. But I think that all of you guys are passing way above that right now. And I think what I might do is slightly change the way the grades are structured because I have to pass out a new post-coronavirus syllabus for each of my classes, which I will do sometime later today. Let's see. Have you guys been enjoying the time in so far? I've been driving you crazy also. I'm not a big fan of staying in anywhere. Oh, did I lose half my audience? Alright. It's about 8:20. I know I don't have very many of you, but I'm still going to do the lecture for the ones of you that I have. This week is not really as hands-on. There's going to be one hands-on thing. But I want to go over traditional versus web development and two of the major stacks. Then we'll go over the differences between in-house outsourcing and offshoring. And then we'll go into a small interactive activity. So let me go ahead and move this over here so I can see you guys talk while I go over the content. Alright. So when you talk about traditional development, don't really use the term stack a lot. It's more of a web development thing. But a lot of larger companies are moving to web development, even for things that they have traditionally done as desktop software. Let's see. So our two major stacks that I want to go over are the MERN stack, which is in the book, and the mean stack, which I have the most experience with, and I think is the most common one. So you have MERN stack, which uses MongoDB for the database, Express as your web server, React as your front end, and .NET for your back end coding. I think you guys use this in WebDev too, if I'm not mistaken. There's also the mean stack, which uses the same database system and web server system, but with Angular for the front end instead of React, and Node.js for the back end. If you have questions about stacks, I know more about the mean stack than I do the MERN stack because I write mostly in Node.js, but the questions should be to where I can answer them either way. Let's see. Also, if you have questions, please ask them in the Discord. I can't watch the YouTube video while I'm recording or it breaks. If I don't have any questions on that, I'll move on to in-house versus outsourcing versus offshore. Whenever a company decides to develop new software, they have the choice essentially between developing it in-house with their own people or outsourcing the development to an outside firm. Offshoring is a specific term that is outsourcing to an overseas firm. There are advantages to both sides, and smaller firms are, in my experience, more likely to use outsourcing when they don't have the manpower. Does anybody have any questions about this part? Insourcing or in-house versus outsourcing? Alright, now we'll go to factoring whether you should, how you should develop your software. And we'll do it with weighted versus unweighted factors. And if you're following along in the book, we will be on page 216. Let's see. We would create a table. We'll do two different competitors for now. And 2, 3, 5. Here we go. So we'll say this is our evaluations for vendor A and vendor B. And the things that we find important are price, completion date, how long it takes, layout and design, oh, I need one more row, references, and total. Let's see. So we will go through and we will mark these from 1 to 10, depending on our opinion of each vendor. So let's say vendor A is our in-house option. And our guys cost a decent amount, but not overly expensive. We can do our project in approximately 3 quarters. So we'll go ahead and put this as 4 if we really want it done sooner. Our layout and design is good but not perfect. And our references to ourselves is 10 because we are ourselves. Now we have full belief that we can do the project. We'll call vendor B offshoring. You can have multiple offshoring vendors and multiple outsourcing vendors. In theory, you could have multiple in-house vendors, but you'd have to be an extremely large company for that to be the case. So we'll say that we're going to get a killer deal from them because they are way undercutting other competition, and they can work a little bit faster because they have more people. Their layout is about as good as ours, but not quite as good as ours. And they have mixed reviews. So we have a 5. Then we go down the columns and add them together. 6 plus 4 plus 8 plus 10 is 28. And theirs will be 10 plus 6 plus 6 plus 5 is 27. So all things being equal, we should do this project in-house instead of outsourcing it. However, that is assuming that all things are equal, and that's not necessarily the case. For that instance, we would do a weighted. So we'll create a column to the right. And let's say that we are trying to conserve budget because we're a smaller company. Price is extremely important to us. Our completion date's pretty important to us. So we'll say 20. The layout is pretty important, but we can change it later. And our references are only kind of important. We want to make sure that we're not going to be taken in by some scam company, but other than that, we don't really care. So we then go across and multiply. $20. 6 times 20 is 120. 6 times 120. And 5 times 10 is 50. And then we go down and we add all of the points the same as we did on our unweighted factor. 300, 400, 500, 640 versus 5, 6, 7, 90. So if we consider these to be our factors and the weights we give to each of them, then it weighted, then offshoring this product would be extremely more of a preferential choice than doing it in-house. Do you guys see how that works? Is there any questions on what I just went over? Okay, cool. What question do you have over what I just went over? Okay, cool. So whenever I do the quizzes on Thursday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy a link to the quiz in the Discord channel, and I will give you guys the day to do it. And the quiz this week will be primarily on creating these weighted versus unweighted evaluations. So, if we don't have any question, no, I'm going to take the attendance from everybody who's said something, and I'm just going to mark that. Did you get a chance to see the rest of the video? Alright. I will stick around for questions, but if there's no questions, then I am good for today. thank you for attending. I don't know if it's still technically attending. Okay. Stay safe and stay healthy.